Hi, this is a Touchdesigner video tutorial, and today I'll show you how to create this particle system with the Pops family. Let's begin. I start by adding a point generator node. I set the number of points to 200. Now I add a geometry comp so I can visualize what I'm doing. I add a camera and a render node. I connect the render node to a null, and I click the button to visualize it. I add a matte node, a constant that is a constant material, and I assign it as the geometry's material. Here the points look flat with no depth. Now I add this combo, a particle and right after it, a noise node. I add a copy node. This node copies the particle positions and replicates them onto whatever element you place. In this case, I'll use a rectangle. It looks like this. But what we're going to do is this. We reduce this value to 0, and this size to 0 as well. And it ends up like this. Now I use a merge node to join the two paths. And it's looking like this. I'll adjust the size a bit. I'll leave it about like this. I think that's fine. Now we'll use a node called Connectivity. And it looks like this. Let's animate the noise by writing this expression. Done, there it is. Now I connect a series of nodes to fix these lines. A line break, I'll turn it off for now. And a line smooth. This node will help us create the curves, so let's turn it on. Done, we've got the basics. I'll add another node to create divisions. It will be useful later for the next node we're going to place. I adjust this field here. Now then, here I place a noise node once again. We animate it too. In this case, I'll animate the Z. We can use these values. With this, the base is ready. I want to give it color, and for that we'll use this. A noise and a lookup texture node. Now I pick the colors. My favorite palette is this one. I like using the light spectrum in many of my creations. Done, this is how it should look. Let's soften it a bit. Well, it's coming along like this. We send it to the lookup texture, we drag it over. It should appear here. For now, we have no color, so let's create the attributes the color will flow into. We enable this checkbox, signed instance, and we use this. Multiply. It's looking like this. Here we have the color field, and now we have it set up this way. So the color goes from the center out to the edge. We use this. It doesn't show here yet, so let's fix it. It should look like this. And let's scale it. Once again, on the z-axis and on y. I'm going to add a bloom node for this effect. Here I enable this. Done, the first part is ready. It's starting to look like what I want. To generate the rays, I increase this value a bit.
Dicks in your ear, caller. You want to say what? Hello? Hello, caller? Oh, the hell with it. This is something new for the underground and the LB. See you when I get back. Dedicated to the east side, 21 Street.
We can start playing with the shapes. I was looking for a way to make it look like lightning rays. Yes, something more or less like this. Done, I added it. It ended up looking like a ray, like those plasma spheres. I really like the result. And that's it. Depending on what else you want to do, you can keep playing with this top network. For example, adjusting this color. This is the result. I hope you like it. And if you run any experiments with this node network, I'd love to see your results. Thank you, and thanks for watching.